guys to another edition of the Right Class. As you can see, my main sidekick here is sleeping on the job, but he was very excited and wanted me to tell you that he is so happy because we had another 100% check-in on attendance. So one more day and I get to put pie in his face. Maybe while he sleeps. I don't know. We'll just have to see. So, yay! One more day. Okay. So, since I'm all alone, he's sleeping on the job, I'll go ahead and go through your agenda today. So as always, Google Classroom is the very first stop for any and all directions and assignments that you're supposed to be doing for the day. So let's take a look. Step number one, as you always know, is the attendance check-in. Make sure you log in, choose one of your answer choices down here at the bottom, read those carefully, and truly select the one that best represents you for the day, and then get that turned in. The second thing is what you're doing now, watching the videos. So let's jump right into it. Of course, we have daily language and math. So for number one, underline the cause and effect. You know that cause and effect, the cause is the why it happened, and the effect is what happened as a result. So you read this sentence here, you want to go ahead and look for some of those clue words because they do use a clue word that actually represents either the cause or the effect. So that's going to be very helpful to you. I will attach that anchor chart, cause and effect anchor chart to the post so that you can refer back to that. It has some clue words on it, so I strongly urge you to review that information. It'll help you with this problem. Correct these sentences. You know what to do there. You're doing great on those. We have complete the analogy. Analogy is basically compare or show the relationship between two words, and they tell you how they are alike or different. So in this case, it would be Loch Ness Monster is to fiction. This is how you read it. Fiction means fake because Loch Ness monsters are fake, as bullfrog is to, and then you're going to put what type of text would you read about bullfrogs in. Being how Loch Ness monster is fiction, what would bullfrog material be found in? So that kind of helps you there. Number 5, A is to the beginning of the alphabet, as Z is to the what, and then you fill in your blank there. Down at the bottom, you have your two basic division problems here, and then number 3, you're going to use this bar graph here to answer the question. So it just simply wants you to tell who has the most items all together. Gives you the names over there in the key, and then you're also going to use this table for number 4 as well. And then for number 5, you have your number story. Make sure you're underlining the question, circling the important information, showing any and all work so that you can get full credit for your work there. Okay, moving on. The second thing for today is how to use a hammer. This is a technical text, which is basically a genre found within non-fiction text, which non-fiction means real information. And whenever you talk about technical text always explains to you how to do something, the step-by-step process. In this case, it is how to use a hammer. So it goes through, you're going to read this carefully, but before you start reading, as always, we read the questions first. So I'm going to run through these with you, kind of review some of the skills that we've talked about. The first question, drawing conclusions, you are familiar with that. We just talked about that the other day. You know that's when you look in the passage, you are basically looking for clues to help you answer this question. It's not always going to be directly stated. It's going to have to be implied. So that means you're going to have to kind of look carefully and look for any hints and clues that will help you answer this question so that you can draw a conclusion. They're very closely related to making an inference. Cause and effect, we just got done talking about that. Underline text evidence, you know to highlight for that one. Text features, now text features are something that we've worked a lot with this year as well. Don't get those confused with text structures. So if you look in your portfolio, okay, you will have your notes. And the portfolio is a great place for you to look and review a lot of these concepts to help you on the assignments for any concepts that you need a kind of a quick glance at. We have text structures, okay? That's different. We've talked about text structures. There are 5 of them: problem, solution, descriptive, compare and contrast, cause and effect, and chronology, which is sequencing. That's not what we're talking about here. We are talking about text features, and these are features that can be found in nonfiction text. So, for example, we made a pretty extensive list here that is in your portfolio. We have a sidebar, bolded text, bullets, titles, headings, subheadings, captions, maps, charts, pictures. All of those are different types of text features that can be found in nonfiction text. So, that kind of gives you some background and information so that you can answer number 4. It's just wanting you to tell what type of text feature is found on this page, and you'll select one of those answers. Now for the vocabulary, what type of word is the last word in step 3? So if you look in step 3, right here you have the word ouch, okay? You're going to tell what type of word is that. Well, we go through our answer choices real quick. I want to review some of these skills that we've talked about. An onomatopoeia, if you remember, is simply a word that is used to represent a sound. So like boom, clap, bang. Those are all onomatopoeias, okay? That goes back to literary devices and figurative language. An interrogative, you know that an interrogative sentence, it asks a question, okay? Remember that interrogate, I like to think of it as a detective is going to interrogate a potential criminal and ask them questions about where they were the night of the crime. So that interrogative just stands for asking a question. We have conjunctions. If you remember your conjunctions that we've used quite a bit in our grammar lessons, those consist of and, or but. And those are used to combine two sentences. And then lastly, we have an interjection. An interjection is simply a word that is going to be used as an abrupt kind of interruption, or it's followed by an exclamation point. Okay, it's going to show excitement. So like if I was falling off my porch and I yelled, ah! Well, the ah part would be what they call an interjection. So that kind of helps you a little bit with that particular question. Context clues, determining the meaning of an unknown word based on the other words around that word in the sentence to come up with this meaning. So that one we've also reviewed quite a bit as well. Now, the last thing that you have on your agenda today is the Appalachian Trail. Remember, you have this teach page. It has information on it and your vocabulary. Review that vocabulary before you get started so that kind of is fresh in your mind. Also review a lot of the facts that talk about the Appalachian Trail. And of course, you have your map that you can review, the information here. You see the trail, how it basically travels up in the northeast region. And then you have your questions. Now, for your questions, I am assigning both Thursday and Friday, okay? Now, I have not assigned Thursday yet. I know that I received a couple assignments where you had turned this in because it did, I think, state that on the calendar. But remember, the calendar is not your guide. Google Classroom is, okay? So, you are going to do Thursday and Friday's questions. Pretty straightforward. It just talks about if you were to continue south, which state would be included. Remember, the clue word being state. And then the second question is very similar, but it says if you were to continue north, which country? Okay, when we think about our countries that are our north neighbors and our south neighbors to the United States, that's going to help you with that particular answer. Down at the bottom, it says if you were to walk the Appalachian Trail, what type of landform would you most likely encounter? So to kind of quickly review landforms, you have the different types of landforms can be such as mountains, plains, valleys, islands. You have ocean, river, lake. Those are the different types of landforms. I will also attach this to the post so that you can refer back to it and help you with this particular question. So, the last question, it talks about if you were to walk the entire length of the Appalachian Trail, averaging 2 miles per hour, how many hours would it take you? Okay, so that is your last question. The challenge is not required. The challenge down here at the bottom is not required, but if you want to go ahead and do that, it's pretty simple. It's just basically on the map. You color all the states through which the Appalachian Trail passes. If you want to do that and send me a picture of your map, I can maybe throw a little extra credit on your grade for that. Otherwise, that is totally up to you. But once again, Thursday and Friday questions are your assigned questions for today. Like I said, I know there was a couple of you that already finished Thursday. That kind of gives me a good indication of who's really watching these videos and paying close attention to what I'm actually assigning and following Google Classroom and like I've recommended. So little things like that kind of tell me whether or not you're on track and following me to the best that you possibly can. So all you got to do is watch these videos, watch the entire videos. They really are good for you. They teach you the lessons. I'm going through everything, good review. Make sure that you watch the entire video, okay? I put a lot of hard work into these things so that I can help you guys out and continue to teach you and prepare you for 5th grade. So please keep that up. Like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. To finish out the agenda for today, just a couple of reminders. On Friday, you also need to be studying for the Southeast Region's quizzes that you will have on Friday, okay, which is tomorrow, okay? I gave you a couple of days prior notice to kind of get studying and reviewing those because we have actually been talking about the Southeast Region for quite some time and we're supposed to test on it before we went on break. But get ready for that. It's coming Friday. And then last but not least, reminder, the Power of Wow Car Wash STEM project. I have received a few of those. They're looking really good, but I still am missing quite a few. So you have till Friday, but don't wait till the last minute to get it done. I'm seeing some really cool stuff, so I'm excited about what's going to come in. So that is all your lessons for today. Remember my announcement, you guys have 3 days in a row of perfect attendance. Excellent job. You guys are doing awesome. Phoenix and I are really excited and proud of each and every one of you. One more day and then you'll have a special video coming Friday with a lot of laughs, I'm sure. So thank you for tuning in. Work hard. As Phoenix would always say, don't get sloppy. We'll see you next time.